My name is Tom, a 28-year-old male. I work at a small factory, so my salary isn't great. I only take home about $1,500 a month, making life quite challenging. That's why I always felt sorry for my wife, Sarah. Sarah and I met through an acquaintance and started dating. Sarah was the same age as me, 26 at the time, but she seemed to have no interest in brand name items. All the women I knew were crazy about branded stuff. I may sound strange saying this, but I was fairly popular with the ladies. So, I ended up casually dating women who confessed to me, but they all clamored for branded goods. On the second date, they would start asking for things like a Gucci bag or Louboutin shoes. Such items, costing tens of thousands of dollars, were way beyond what I could afford on my salary. So, when I refused, these women quickly drifted away. In the end, I realized that to all these women, I was nothing more than an ATM. But Sarah was different. Sarah always dressed simply but not shabbily, and I thought she had great taste. Since we got married, I've grown to love her more and more. Her unpretentious personality and her constant smile have been so comforting to me. Despite the inconvenience due to my modest earnings, my wife never complains. She works as a temp and almost entirely saves the money she earns. Sarah, why don't you buy some cosmetics you like? The toner on the bathroom counter is almost gone. But I was thinking of waiting for a sale. The easy peasy super sale starts next week. I think it'll last until then. Really, I'm not sure if it will. There was barely any left. I'll buy it for you, so don't hesitate. Sarah, you always hold back too much on buying what you want. But I don't really dress up much. It feels wrong to buy things just for myself. You know, you haven't been buying much for yourself either. I'm honestly fine. Are you sure, Sarah? I don't want you to hold back because I always feel like I'm causing you trouble. That's not the case at all. I'm not holding back or anything. Okay, if that's what you say, Sarah, as long as you're happy. Even though she said that, I couldn't help but think that Sarah was just being considerate and not buying anything because of me. I felt guilty for causing her inconvenience because of my low salary. She might want to buy her favorite clothes and cosmetics as much as she likes. I know her friends are all fashionable. Sarah never says she's envious, but I can't help but wonder if she really feels that way. Since it had been a year since we got married, I thought of it as an anniversary gift and reserved a fancy steak restaurant. The restaurant has a great reputation, so I thought Sarah would be happy. I've never eaten at such an upscale place, so I was anxious about making a mistake with the etiquette. Well, as long as we enjoy the meal, that's what matters. As long as we don't dress inappropriately or eat messily and disturb others, I just want to enjoy the meal. Then, Sarah and I went to the fancy steak restaurant. The chef saw us and greeted us warmly. The interior of the restaurant was also impressive, and I got really nervous. I wondered if it was really okay for us to eat at such a nice place. Sarah seemed a little tense too. She wore a chic black dress and carried a gray handbag. But neither the dress or the bag were high-end brands. They were bought at a regular, affordable clothing store. Sarah seemed to really like the dress and bag and took good care of them, so they were still in great condition. Nobody would know they were inexpensive unless told, and Sarah's good sense of style made her look somewhat sophisticated. We ordered steak and appetizer. I heard it's good to start with something light, so we ordered salad and soup. The salad was fresh and very delicious. This salad is delicious. I've never had such tasty dressing before. Yes, I agree. It's got beets. Really delicious. This soup is also good. Yes, very tasty. Soup I ordered was potato pottage. Sarah's soup was corn pottage. I'm usually satisfied with canned chicken soup, but high-end soup was a whole new level of delicious. I heard that the quality of the soup is a sign of a good restaurant, and it was sweet but not overly so, and very tasty. Afterward, we had main meal, steak. It was really tender and juicy. The sauce was just right. It was my first time having steak so tender and rich in flavor. This steak is really delicious. It's so tender, it feels like it's melting in my mouth. Yes, it is. I really like it. It's the best steak I've ever had in my life. Jess, thank you for today. It was really delicious. While we were eating the steak, David, a manager from one of our client companies, showed up. I thought, the last person I went to see, and momentarily stopped using my fork. That's because David always looks down on me, and I don't like him either. David works for Company a large corporation that frequently advertises. He seems to earn a good salary, working there. Moreover, David apparently graduated from a very prestigious national university and looked down on me for only graduating high school. I attended a technical high school because I wanted to acquire a trade skill and got many qualifications while I was there. But according to David, being a graduate of a technical high school is seen as being at the bottom of the hierarchy. I worked hard in my own way and had my reasons for choosing that high school. So, I really can't like people like David who boast about their education and background and look down on others. No, I guess it's more accurate to say I quite dislike him. We had this conversation before. Today, I came to observe, B Company really is a tiny business, isn't it? It's nothing like our company. What's with this shabby equipment? You guys must be short on money, huh? Yeah, well, that's true. We are a small company, and replacing equipment isn't really feasible right now. You're Tom, right? Why are you working in a place like this? Couldn't get into a better company. I was recommended this company by my high school teacher. Plus, even though it's small, our products have one of the highest market shares in the country, so I felt it was a good choice. High school. So you joined this company right after high school? No way. Wait a minute. High school graduate and already working. That's like being a loser in life. Why do you think that? I don't believe that's true. Because you didn't study hard enough to get into university, right? Stuck as a high school graduate. So, which high school did you go to? It must be a bottom tier one. Well, I went to C Technical High School. That's C Technical High School. The one where you get in just by writing your name. You really went to such a low-tier high school. And not going to university. Your life is basically over. A high school that even a kindergartner could get into. It's embarrassing to even be alive. There's no need to say that. I worked hard too. Worked hard. That's something a college graduate can say. Not you, a high school graduate from a technical school. You didn't work hard. That's why you're just a high school graduate. You don't get it. David said this and walked away. It felt like he just came to be a nuisance. He was really annoying. After such an incident, I really hated David. I mean, who could possibly like such a person? While we were eating steak, David was smirking. Then he sat next to us and suddenly started saying mean things. Wow, Tom, you frequent places like this as well. I thought you wouldn't have the chance. How many months of your salary did you spend here? Maybe 2 or 3 months worth. No, I just came here for our wedding anniversary. I haven't spent that many months worth of salary. I'd be surprised to see someone spend 2 or 3 months' salary at a steak restaurant. No matter how expensive, I doubt it would cost that much. Since he dislikes me, he can say such mean things and laugh about it. I looked down on him for being so rotten to the core. Yeah, well, it seems a bit out of your league, doesn't it? Also, your wife looks pretty poor. What's with that cheap outfit? Suddenly, he started belittling Sarah's clothes, and I got really angry. It's one thing to be sarcastic to me, but it's unforgivable to talk about her who has nothing to do with this. Sarah looked sad and then looked down. I caught a glimpse of her face turning red, as if she was embarrassed. That flimsy dress and obviously fake leather bag, so poverty-stricken. You can afford to buy anything better than that, Tom. You really are a loser. Hey, why would you say that? Don't talk about my wife. Even if you're a client's manager, I won't tolerate that. It's okay, let it be. Stop, please. Sarah, I don't like you being insulted. Let's just go home. We've had enough delicious food. I'm fine with this. Jer, poor people should go home. After all, your wife has been eating only bread which comes with steak. Seems she liked it more than the steak. Poor people, just eat bread at home. We were stunned. Sarah started to cry, saddened by the whole situation. I thought about dragging David outside and yelling at him. But then a lady at a distant table said something. Well, you wouldn't understand a good thing about bread. What's that? You, sir, don't seem to understand the quality of this bread. Humph, I don't see anything good about this plain bread. It's just bread. Sir, you might want to stop there. Saying such things is not very appropriate. What are you talking about, chef? This is just regular bread, nothing special. Only poor people would appreciate this cheap stuff. I can't eat something so lowly. My taste is too refined. Well, you think that way, fine. This bread is actually a super high-end product, you know, right, Jennifer? Really? The wheat, we grow it on our farm. Have you heard of Westfield Farm? Westfield Farm, the famous one that produces high-end vegetables and fruits. Yes, I'm the owner. My husband and I run it. We grow a variety of vegetables and rice. And the wheat for this bread is also from our farm. It's top-grade bread from the Westfield brand. I see. You said your taste is refined, but you didn't recognize the quality of this bread. We aimed for a sophisticated taste. Yes, this is exclusive. High-end bread only supplied to top restaurants. David had been belittling the bread, but it turns out that the lady there was the one who produced it. Her name is Jennifer. Jennifer, along with her husband, manages Westfield Farm, a well-known establishment renowned for its vastness and its homemade condiments. Their condiments are quite pricey, popular among a certain circle of elite ladies. For someone like me, the prices were far beyond reach. And this bread was also a luxury item. Jennifer's bread, made with an original recipe, was unique and not available from other producers. It had a refined sweetness without being too sour, making it delicious. No wonder Sarah liked it so much. Although Sarah wasn't greedily eating only the bread, David had been mocking her. David, who may have never tasted this bread, was quick to assert that only poor people would be grateful for such a thing. But he must have been startled to find Jennifer, the creator, right there. David was sweating and seemed at a loss for words, clearly flustered. From my perspective, he looked quite embarrassed. I couldn't help but view him disdainfully as he awkwardly tried to find an excuse. Haha, is that so? My apologies. Well, I haven't eaten much bread before. Sorry about that. You don't owe me an apology. Perhaps you should apologize to these two. Me? Apologize to him? Yes. You have been saying some terrible things. It was quite unbearable to listen to. You should properly apologize. But I'm a manager at his client's company, and he's just a low-level employee. I don't want to apologize to someone who's just a high school graduate. I hate the bottom-tier people. Oh, you hate the bottom tier. So you hate someone like me who started from high school too. You look down on me. Well, that's not what I mean. No, it's different. I was just saying that about Tom. It didn't sound like that, did it, Jennifer? No, it didn't. You appeared to be looking down on all high school graduates. Just to let you know, my husband and I, who run Westfield Farm, are also high school graduates. No, that's not what Enough with the excuses. Can you please leave? You're ruining the enjoyment of our delicious foods, right, chef? Yes, that's right. We put our hearts into making foods for our customers to enjoy, but with someone like you here, it ruins the atmosphere. Please leave. Your presence is no longer welcome here. All right, I understand. I'm sorry. David apologized to the chef, Jennifer, and us before leaving. Although it was an unpleasant encounter with a mean person, having supporters like them made me feel relieved. People like David, behaving arrogantly, would surely be unwelcome in any high-class establishment. I figured he must have been condescending to the staff as well. Sarah was very grateful to the chef and Jennifer. Thank you so much for defending us. I was nervous coming to such a nice place for the first time, and these clothes and bag are just affordable items I bought with the money I earned from my part-time job. I was worried they might be inappropriate. Don't worry about that. You're well presented, and you haven't done anything wrong. Just be confident and proud of who you are. Exactly. What does it matter if something is inexpensive? It suits you well and looks clean. People aren't better just because they own expensive things. My husband and I earn decently as a couple, but I've never desired expensive brand items. It's enough that something fits well and looks good. Yeah, I guess feeling ashamed or sorry for myself is the real embarrassment. I'll try to be more confident. That's right. Confidence is important. You did nothing wrong, so be proud and come visit us again. We were happy to see you enjoying our bread. Thank you. It seemed that my wife was self-conscious about her attire looking inexpensive. The clothes and bag she wore were bought with her own earnings, but as a temp worker, her salary is modest. Seeing her friends, who are quite well off and own branded bags and shoes, she must have felt a bit envious. On the contrary, I felt even more guilty. If only my earnings were better, she could have had the option to be a stay-at-home wife and bought her plenty of beautiful clothes and bags. Due to our financial struggles and my low income, she has to work. But Sarah never complained about working. She's kind, considerate, and truly more than I deserve. We then paid our bill and left the restaurant, grateful for the unexpected support and feeling a bit better about ourselves. When that man was being mean, I wasn't sure how to react, but it's reassuring to know we have allies. I felt very reassured. Yeah, David always acts like that when he comes to our place, but I didn't want to see him either. Well, he got told off by the chef and Jennifer and scurried away. I'm really glad we could enjoy such delicious steak today. Thank you. It must have been expensive, right? Don't worry about it. I wanted to take you there. If it was delicious, then that's all that matters. Let's go again sometime. Yeah, let's do that. After that, I worked tirelessly at my job and gradually began to be recognized by my peers. I had always been at the bottom, but my boss finally acknowledged my hard work. I was thrilled that my efforts were being fairly evaluated. Sarah was overjoyed when she heard about my promotion. Congratulations on your promotion. I'm so glad your hard work paid off. Yeah, I'm glad there are people who recognize my efforts. If you work sincerely, it eventually pays off. That's true. I want to learn from you. I want to be your support. Sarah, you already are a great support to me. Thanks for everything. My pleasure. Oh, by the way, I've made a reservation for this Saturday. I wanted to celebrate your promotion. For my promotion, where? That steak restaurant. I wanted to go there again with you. Really? That's great. Then let's go this Saturday. Thank you so much. Sarah had reserved the same high-end steak restaurant for my promotion celebration. I was so moved I almost cried. How lucky I was to have such a thoughtful wife. Then came Saturday, and we decided to dress up a bit and go to the restaurant. Although we're not high earners, we chose affordable clothes that still look nice. When we entered, the chef and Jennifer were there. I thought Jennifer was there to dine again. Today, I heard it's a celebration, so please accept this as a gift from us. This is wine. Yes, we got high-quality wine. It's exquisite, so please try it. This is too generous. Such an expensive item as a service. We couldn't possibly accept. It's our pleasure. Consider it a small token of our appreciation. Lucky us. Let's gratefully accept his kind offer. All right, let's enjoy it. Delicious. It tastes sweet. I wanted you to try this exceptional quality. Enjoy it. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have such delicious wine. Tom, make sure you thank your wife. She's the one you should be grateful to. Sarah, thank you so much. Today, we're celebrating thanks to you. Let's enjoy our meal. Such a lovely couple. To support each other like this is wonderful. Here, take this from our farm as well. Jennifer handed us a set of high-end condiments. The dressings alone were worth around $15 each. I usually opt for dressings that cost about $1.80, so I wondered what these high-end dressings would taste like. There was also a large package of premium fruits. Westfield Farm strawberries, packaged in wooden boxes, sold for about $200. These were high-end fruits that someone like me would never normally afford. These are the legendary Westfield strawberries. Can we really accept such wonderful gifts? Yes, please do. Think of it as a thank you for appreciating our bread. The strawberries look so beautiful and big. I've never seen anything like it. Westfield Farm is truly remarkable, with its extensive lands. I faced many challenges when I first got married. My husband and I worked tirelessly in the fields every day, but we supported each other and eventually built a large farm. So, you too should continue to support each other as well, no matter what. Stand by each other and move forward together. Yes, we will. Thank you so much. Jennifer seemed like a refined and graceful lady now, but she must have gone through a lot of struggles. She wasn't flaunting luxury brands but was well made up and her clothes were well cared for. Her shoes were polished too, showing she had a comfortable lifestyle. I aspired to be like her. No matter how tough things get, I want to be someone who supports my spouse and works hard for our dreams. With that in mind, I thought of collaborating with Sarah, enjoying our endeavors together. The steak that day was incredibly delicious. It was delicious the last time too, but maybe it tasted even better wrapped in the happy atmosphere. Watching Sarah happily eating steak also warmed my heart. A year passed. As a section chief now, I was working hard and came home with a bouquet of flowers for our wedding anniversary. It was Sarah's favorite pink bouquet. I suggested going to the steak restaurant again, but Sarah seemed hesitant. I wondered if she didn't want to go there anymore. What's wrong? Didn't you like that place? We don't have to go if you don't want to. Well, I do want to go, but we can't. I went to the doctor today and found out I'm pregnant. You know, pregnant women shouldn't have wine. What? You're pregnant? That's incredible. Well, Sarah, it's our baby. Yes, our long-awaited baby. I'm so happy. I'll be a good mother. I'll do my utmost to be a great father. Let's keep working hard together. Yes, we'll help each other out no matter what. Then Sarah decided to quit her job. And she gave birth to a boy. He was adorable with big eyes like Sarah's. Holding him, I felt like crying, overwhelmed by his preciousness. I was grateful every day for Sarah, who took care of our son. I did what I could, but as a stay-at-home mom, she did so much for us. As our son grew, Sarah began studying again. Sarah obtained her pharmacy technician certification and began working at a pharmacy. The nearby pharmacy offers flexible shifts, allowing her to finish work in time to pick up our son from his extracurricular activities. By that time, my earnings had increased significantly, and it would have been fine for Sarah to remain a full-time homemaker. But she had always been interested in pharmacy work and planned to study after childbirth. I was proud of my hard-working and ambitious wife. More than 20 years have passed since our son was born. I'm an old man now. Our son, Jason, graduated from university this spring and got a job. He's working for a major bank far from home and coming back for a holiday break. I believe our son, Jason, is very talented as he secured a position at a major megabank. I'm proud of him. Today, Sarah and I are being treated to steak by our son with his first salary. It's at that high-end steak restaurant. The chef, now in his mid-70s, was in his mid-50s when I first spoke to him. "Hey there, is this your son?" "Yes, this is my son, Jason." "Nice to meet you. I heard from my dad and mom that they really love this steak place. I thought I'd treat them." "What a great son you have. You must be proud of him." "Haha, he's excellent, unlike me." "Oh come on, Tom, you're great too. Aren't you a big shot now?" "Well, I'm just the vice president of a small company." "That's still impressive. Now, please enjoy your meal." We started with the appetizing salad and ordered soup, too. Every single piece was so delicious, it felt like our cheeks might fall off. Jason, who was eating steak from this place for the first time, was also moved. "Dad, this steak is really amazing. Wow, I've never had steak this tender before. I could eat loads of it. It's so good. It makes me glad to be alive." "Yeah, I love this steak too. I could eat it endlessly." "Thanks for making the reservation today. Being treated by you is like a dream come true. You've really grown up." "Well, I'm old enough, right? I've finally become a working adult, so I need to thank Mom and Dad, or it wouldn't feel right." "Ah, you've become so dependable. And this bread is absolutely delicious too. Where do they make it?" "Oh, that's from the Westfield Farm bread. You know, from that large farm." "Oh, the large farm along the highway. I didn't know they grew wheat there. That's new to me. By the way, is Jennifer doing well? What is she up to these days?" "Actually, she passed away recently from cancer. I was quite shocked when I found out." "What? She passed away? That's so sad. Jennifer was battling cancer. I had no idea." "What? Dad and Mom, you guys knew her?" "Well, sort of. She was a lady who was very kind to us. We didn't even get to say goodbye. It was a private funeral, and I only went to her grave. Jennifer was working hard at the farm till the end, thinking about it every day. She really loved the farm. We'll never forget the vegetables and fruits filled with Jennifer's love. She was truly dedicated to running the farm. Now her son has taken over and is running the farm with his father. This bread is made using a secret recipe passed down, so it's exactly like Jennifer's taste." "Ah, Jennifer's bread. Don't cry too much. Let's eat with a smile to help Jennifer's spirit rest in peace." "Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Jennifer, for everything. Our son has grown up well, and we can eat steak together as a family." We hadn't known about Jennifer's passing. We had been so busy, hardly visiting the steak restaurant, so we never bumped into her. Jennifer had been battling terminal breast cancer, but even after hospitalization and discharge, she kept working hard at the farm. It made me realize how deeply she cherished the crops she grew. I deeply respected her dedication and love for the crops she grew, putting her life into her work. After praying for Jennifer's soul, we enjoyed the steak. My son paid the bill smoothly when it was time, and seeing him grown up like this reassured me. It's impressive to see him handling such a large amount so effortlessly. When I was a new graduate starting at a company, I was so poor, even hesitating to buy meals at convenience stores, a stark contrast. Since then, we've been going to the steak restaurant for every special occasion. The chef had grown old, so his son took over. Originally, his son was a company employee, but he trained to become a steak chef. I want to keep working hard so I can continue to enjoy delicious steak. To show appreciation for all the hard times my wife has been through, I plan to take her there again for her next birthday.